everybody. Welcome in and welcome back. I am just taking a look at a couple of things here. Looks like we're all good to go. All right. As an ad break decides to fly in. Well, welcome in. It is Whack and Unwrap Wednesday, which means I'm usually doing a new game, and Scary Games October. So, what does that mean? I found a game that had some really lousy reviews. And I'm usually just curious as to why people don't like games in general. This is one of those times where I'm like, man, I kind of wish we could just rent games like we used to do back in the day. But I saw this game, it caught my eye, and I read that it was pretty bad. And I'm of the opinion that you should form your own idea. You should form your own opinion about a game. Don't listen to everybody on the internet just trashing it. They could be right. They could be completely right, and it could be a very bad game, but I don't know. Here's the game. It's called Slitterhead. I'm pretty sure that the kanjis don't match. I'm pretty sure the kanjis don't necessarily match the name Slitterhead. I don't even know. I don't even know how the game is going to go. I have absolutely no idea if it's a survival horror, if it's a first person shooter, if it's I'm literally going into this completely blind. Excuse me for a second. All right. Apologies, everybody. Just a small little setback here. I have absolutely no idea what's going on with my internet connection, but you know what? At this point, I'm willing to believe that it's my ISP messing me over, and the only reason is because it usually comes at the same day, top of the hour. There's a pattern here. Today, even specifically today, I was not even streaming and my internet connection went down. So I think it's time to start shopping elsewhere, because I got all new equipment in the house, and I know that's not the reason. I pinged my router when my internet went down earlier, and I can get to my router. There was no getting away from the router for some reason. So we'll see what ends up happening sooner or later. But welcome in, everybody. I'm glad with the exception of whatever happened earlier, it seemed like there was a small little mess up earlier. And that was my internet once again going down at the top of the hour. But welcome in. So yes, Slitterhead. I don't even know that you could probably see the title Slitterhead. I don't know why looking at this game grabbed me initially, but the story kind of reminds me of, there was this brief anime movie called Blood the Last Vampire, and in that there was like a nest of demon vampire things hiding out as plain people in the local community. And from what I gather, on the story on the back of this says kind of the same thing, except not vampires, they're just more demons. And, you know, that movie was pretty cool. So why wouldn't a game be based off, or why would a game with that idea be bad? Well, it could be a couple of different things. It could be that the gameplay doesn't match the story. It could be that very poor controls. Let me tell you, the download for this game was, well, the update file for this game was not that big from what I remember. Installation from the disc was like 30 some gigabytes, and you know, for a Blu-ray, hey, if it's that's kind of cool. But I'm glad I whacked and unwrapped it earlier in the day. Started the install because it took like half an hour for that thing to install. I'm not really sure how big that install file was, but we are going to start with our language selection, English. Ooh, doesn't that sound Silent Hill? They probably, this is from, who is this from? Xseed Games? Bokeh? Well, let's take a look right here. Ooh, spooky. When I get a new game, I usually like to see if they have something of an opening demo. And lately, that has not been the case for any new games. They just show you the title screen and just sits there. Whatever happened to opening demos? It's like, this is what gets you into the game. Something like Silent Hill. Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill for PS1, had one of the most innovative opening demos I've ever seen, opening trailers for the game I've ever seen in any game, and I think it still has yet to be repeated, where they showed some scenes from the game, then they showed some scenes that weren't even in the game, but they were sort of preludes to the story, which I thought was really cool. You know, just like, we're never going to see this outside of the opening title sequence. And it explains, like, the further you get into the game, the more some of the scenes make sense. Like, oh my gosh, there's this fight in between Lisa and Dr. Kaufman. And you see them actually fighting in the trailer at the beginning of the game, but that scene is nowhere in the game because the game takes place after that. So that was really cool. If I ever make a game, I'm gonna do some trailers that have absolutely nothing to do with the game itself. I mean, gameplay, but it's going to be a little bit more story based. You know, the story has to start somewhere, right? I'm guessing there is no opening demo. I was trying to make filler. Thought I was doing a good job.